Let's predict WWE Survivor Series War Games now on the Squared Circle Cycle Babble. My name is Michael Valenti. First match on the card, we'll do AJ Styles versus Finn Balor, the leaders of their respective factions, the OC and the Judgment Day, former leaders of the same faction in Japan known as the Bullet Club in New Japan Pro Wrestling. We know these two can have a great match. We saw it in the past, and I am, firmly believing that's going to happen again. So I wouldn't be surprised if this actually opens Survivor Series on Saturday night, but to say who wins this match, I think the momentum of Judgment Day continues. They've been booked really strong as of late and not really losing many matches. I know this past Monday, the Brawling Brutes did beat Judgment Day in a 6-man tag match with the help of the OC and everyone else involved in War Games this Saturday, but nonetheless, I think Finn Balor does get the victory here over AJ Styles and continuing the feud that we have with the OC and the Judgment Day. Next match we have is for the SmackDown Women's Championship. Ronda Rousey looking to retain her title against Shotzi. And I got to be honest, I've been critical of Raw's booking in the women's division, but I also got to be critical of SmackDown's women's division too, because it seems like the only way they can decide who's going to be a number one contender is by having random 5 or 6 women matches, whether they're gauntlet matches or fatal 5-ways or fatal 6-ways. There's not really anybody getting built up to actually go after the champion and create a story behind it. And while I love Shotzi Blackheart, I honestly don't see any way that she's beating Ronda Rousey this Saturday at Survivor Series War Games, and just continuing, maybe there's a story there with Shayna Baszler and Raquel Rodriguez and Shotzi and Ronda, but for now, I think this is just kind of lazy booking just to try to find someone for Ronda Rousey to beat until they can find a story for her. So Ronda Rousey gets the win here. Next one we have for the United States Championship. It's a triple threat match. Seth Rollins looks to defend the title against Bobby Lashley and Austin Theory. A lot of people wrote Austin Theory off when he cashed in on that Money in the Bank contract on the United States Championship and did so unsuccessfully, thinking, oh, that's it. Austin Theory's buried. They're not going to use him anymore. That was Vince's guy. This is Triple H's era, all that fun stuff. But we have seen a character change in the last couple weeks. We've seen a more serious side to Austin Theory, and I think that has worked tremendously for him so far. And in fact, I got to be honest, I think this is probably the hardest match to predict, because usually with these odd man matches, you try to find the odd man out that will end up winning this match, but they've kind of been interweaving all the last couple weeks in this storyline, because it was Lashley that cost Theory the successful cash in. Seth Rollins is going after Lashley. Lashley's going after, Seth Rollins. Theory's going after both of them. It's really been a good combination of the two in just a short time of this storyline. Kind of what we saw with Samoa Joe, Wardlow, and Powerhouse Hobbs in their couple weeks heading into All Out last week for that TNT Championship. Kind of the same situation here with the United States Championship. So it's kind of hard to predict who wins this match. So I think if we are to believe that Seth Rollins and Cody Rhodes is still part of the plans for WrestleMania when Cody Rhodes comes back from injury, that Seth Rollins has to retain this title and hold it all the way to WrestleMania, because it's probably going to be Cody Rhodes versus Seth Rollins for the United States Championship if they're not going with Cody Rhodes versus Roman at WrestleMania, where Cody wins the Royal Rumble, challenges Roman, and beats him there. So I'm going with a Seth retention, although I wouldn't be surprised if Bobby won it back, and I wouldn't be surprised if Austin Theory won it back, given what we've seen the last few weeks. Now on to the War Games matches. We'll start with the women's War Games match. We have Bianca Belair, Alexa Bliss, Asuka. Is her name now Michin? Is that how you pronounce it? I apologize. I don't speak Korean. Formerly known as Mia Yim, and someone else that's going to be announced on SmackDown tonight, going up against Damage Control, Bayley, Io Sky, and Dakota Kai. Also, Nikki Cross and Rhea Ripley. I was critical of this for a while now. I think the booking and the storyline progression of Bianca, Alexa, Asuka against Damage Control has been kind of 50-50 booking. Not really a story there. Just kind of keeping these guys together until this War Games match. They kind of gave us an excuse for Nikki Cross to get into this match. Mia Yim and Rhea Ripley, yeah, they're feuding with each other as part of the OC and Judgment Day feud, but it's not really part of this War Games story per se. So again, another kind of excuse to get these people in this match to try to get it a 5-women on 5-women match. But who's going to be this fifth person? Is it going to be Beth Phoenix to go after Rhea Ripley? Is it going to be Becky Lynch coming back from injury? I think it's going to be Sasha Banks coming back after this long hiatus after walking out from the WWE Women's Tag Team Championship match. And I understand Sasha in it and Naomi not in it. That kind of makes no sense. I understand that. But let's not forget, this is Boston, Massachusetts that this show is in, which is the hometown of Sasha Banks. So it would be a great pop for her to come out. And I mean, there's the tie-in still with the Women's Tag Team Championships. There's the tie-in with Bayley. There's the tie-in with Bianca Belair. It makes a lot of sense for her to be that fifth person, especially because if you believe what she did on, was it Instagram, where she teased something big is going to happen in November. November is 5 days away from ending. So, I mean, is this the thing that she was teasing on Instagram? I think it is. And I think because of that, I'm going to give the win to Team Bianca over Damage Control, Nikki Cross, and Rhea Ripley here. It's going to be a fun match regardless. If it is Becky Lynch, awesome still. If it's Beth Phoenix, awesome still. I know some people even throw around Candice LaRae, which kind of makes sense given the storyline. I think that might be the most underwhelming of the choices. And if it's anybody else, it'd be a complete surprise. So I'm going with one of those four, but I'm picking Sasha Banks as that fifth person, helping them to victory. Our main event is the Bloodline versus the Brawling Brutes, Drew McIntyre and Kevin Owens. And I think opposite of what we've seen with the women's War Games match, this one actually has a lot of storyline back to it. You have the Brawling Brutes getting screwed out of the tag team championships at Crown Jewel, Drew McIntyre getting screwed out of the unified, undisputed Universal Championship against Roman Reigns at Clash of the Castle. And 2 years ago, Kevin Owens, getting screwed out of that title reign through 3 matches with Roman Reigns. Obviously, the tie-in with Sami Zayn too. So this seed is planted finally for possibly the breakup with Sami Zayn, forming an alliance with Kevin Owens. And I think it's probably going to lead to the Usos' end of their reign as tag team champions, where, I think Kevin Owens and Sami Zayn will dethrone the Usos for those titles. I think that's the plan there. So I like what's going on with the Bloodline. I love the stuff that's going on with Sami Zayn. I love that you have the tie-in with Sheamus and Drew McIntyre joining forces, even though they've had their ups and downs in their friendship and their rivalry, whatever. They're going after the Bloodline because they all have a common goal. They want to go after Roman Reigns. They want to go after the Usos. They want those championships. It's absolutely great. And a lot of people, I think, might write this off as a Bloodline victory, but I'm going with a bold prediction on this one. I think the Brawling Brutes, Drew McIntyre and Kevin Owens win this. And not only that, I think Roman Reigns takes the pin. What better way to have Roman Reigns take a pin but still keep the titles and progress a storyline than here at War Games? You can obviously have it where Sami Zayn knocks out Roman Reigns somehow. He's in shock, then gets claymored by Drew McIntyre, and Kevin Owens pins Roman Reigns. And then that sets up what could be possibly the Royal Rumble Championship match, going back to 2 years, Kevin Owens versus Roman Reigns, where Roman Reigns could finally beat Kevin Owens clean. And I put that in quotes. I'll put it in quotes because even then he might still get help from the Usos anyway. And then that leads to the Usos and Sami Zayn and Kevin Owens program heading into WrestleMania. So definitely some story progression there. But I'm going with the Brawling Brutes, Drew McIntyre and Kevin Owens, to beat the Bloodline at War Games. And it's going to be Roman Reigns that takes the pin. We'll see what happens. Let me know your predictions in the comments section. And don't forget to check out all our other clips by clicking the thumbnail on the screen right now. Or you could join our our SCPB Plus, where we have not just ad-free episodes, but unedited episodes as well. Click the picture right here on the screen, and we'll check you out on the next episode of the Squared Circle Psychobabble.